All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game, Sheik versus TGW. This game taking place here on Rusty Creek 1.3. My jet lag hopefully is well. My jet lag is still here. I traveled during the Christmas holiday, the winter holidays rather, and well, I'm still trying to recover a little bit. Haven't been able to get into my normal casting routine. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that a little bit more starting this week as this game is already getting underway. TGW spawning as the purple orc at what I'll call the 9 o'clock positioning, opening things up with an Altar of Storms burrow, still no barracks, and still no Voodoo Lounge. So very curious as to how things are going to be unfolding here, perhaps a proc or doing a little bit of scouting as things are already getting underway. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Sheik opening things up, Altar of Darkness, there's that crypt, no real big surprise there. Undead always going for that early crypt? Well, because they need ghouls in order to harvest lumber. Pretty standard play overall, as we are going to be going into Farseer and Headhunters. Now, one thing I did want to, make a note of is Blizzard and their, communication in developing their PTR patch for WarCraft 3. A lot of changes going back and forth. They're trying to find the proper balance. My initial response to the PTR patch was, huh? But they have made a lot of strong changes back, trying to figure out their footing and giving some sort of racial identity to each of the races here. I still think that if you were to give the dwarven race like an upgrade similar to troll regeneration, give the dwarves the ability to have additional magic resistance, that would solve a lot of the problems. The Death Coil Frost Nova combination against mortar teams is perhaps one of the biggest reasons why Undead is so powerful against human, as we are going for a Crypt Lord first, interestingly enough. All right, so Crypt Lord first, he did sell that Scroll of Town Portal, Rod of Necromancy, and a Sacrificial Skull. We do see 6 Acolytes out for Sheik, so an expansion could be in order. Meanwhile, Farseer now making his way out across the map. He did get a delayed barrack, so he will not get that early grunt in this engagement here, perhaps a faster tech to tier 2. All right, there's that war mill, still no barracks. So, well, I take it back. We don't know if it's going to be headhunters or some other strategy here, as the Crypt Lord is getting into a little bit of an engagement. All right, Farseer has summoned up some Spirit Wolves trying to get racked up some damage. Are we going to see another round of Spirit Wolves getting summoned up? No, that is already the second round there, as the Spirit Wolves trying now to escape. Crypt Lord looking to rack up a little bit of damage against some other units, but Sheik with that go-wide army between beetles and that Rod of Necromancy, able to easily surround and really win out any war of attrition battles if it does come to that. All right, where are all of these units perhaps going to try and go next? A very low hit point. Ghoul does need to try and retreat back. There's a new set of Spirit Wolves again, as we could be looking at another set of skeletal minions joining in, as opposed to the beetles. Not quite sure why we're not seeing beetles, especially since we are near maximum mana on Sheik. We are getting a proxy Voodoo Lounge in the middle of the map already, as we could be going into an expansion attempt here by Sheik in just a moment. Farseer still not on the board with any experience whatsoever, down to about half mana, and really wants to put pressure onto this expansion now. All right, Ziggurat already taking quite a bit of damage. We don't see any way to dispel, as that Ziggurat is going to most likely end up getting cancelled. Crypt Lord, however, now has Impale, can really land Impale on that Farseer and get a possible surround. No lucky surround there at all, as the Centaur Sorcerer coming in to rack up a bit more damage. Acolyte trying to keep that distance. Spirit Wolves perhaps going to try and poke apart that Acolyte as well, as new Spirit Wolves are still coming across. Early aggression by this one Farseer. TGW really punishing Sheik's expansion attempt so far, as this Centaur Sorcerer is still in position here, trying to take down this one skeletal minion. Coming back through, Crypt Lord should be able to take down that Centaur Sorcerer. The 2 Ziggurats are going to get up and operational, as we are now training up some Acolytes to mosey on over. Firelord follow up, TGW wanting to continue with that pressure here, and because of all of those little small targets with these ghouls, skeletal minions, the lava spawns can in fact split fairly easily. Voodoo Lounge, however, a little bit too out of the way, as we're going to see the two heroes trying to get close to each other, get a little bit more surface area overall. More damage, more pressure coming back across here. There's that lava spawn continuing to put, getting surrounded, making sure it doesn't get split, as a split lava spawn does heal up quite a bit as well. Meanwhile, that Firelord, only 22 to 28 damage, doesn't rack up all that much, but really getting a good amount of damage against that Criplord, who's now down to 93 hit points, as we see another surround onto that second lava spawn. All right, that second lava spawn going to get taken down. Firelord trying to get in more damage here. Is the Criplord going to be able to perhaps just throw himself up somewhere and taking a little bit of that extra damage? Wow, a little bit of swirl of speed now in order trying to get that damage onto that Criplord. One more final shot. What is going down? Down to 5 hit points again, getting up to level 3 and barely staying alive still. 34 hit points. That level up, that long distance level up, giving it just enough life to stay alive still. All right, Farseer, Firelord needs to come back around. No clarity potion. We see a Spirit Tower and a Nerubian Tower already, well, ready to go, ready to defend this location, as the Crypt Lord needs to figure out how to try and stay alive. All right, it looks as though that ghoul could end up getting taken down. Murgle, Tide Warrior continuing the fight. We are looking at a little bit of, well, the Crypt Lord being able to teleport all the way back home, but we do see watchtowers now also being built in the middle of the night, and there might be enough time for them to be completed, causing a little bit of pressure once more, as we still don't see that many Crypt Fiends out yet. All right, that watchtower is nearly done, or it's actually about halfway done, and it is going to end up getting spotted. Peons are now making their way over as well. In come some Wind Riders, and here we are going into that engagement. There goes another watchtower there, as the Wind Riders are going to get in some free shots onto some of those ghouls, as the fortified upgrade is already completed. All right, damage now racking up again. Lava Spawn perhaps going to try to get in some more splitting, more damage coming back across, trying to take down that watchtower, already down to, well, getting canceled there, as damage is still racking up. Lava Spawns could perhaps get in some more damage again. As you can see, the Wind Riders are currently just going unchallenged, as the Crypt Fiends, even if they make it out onto the battlefield, still do not have web. All right, low hit point Crypt Rider, or Crypt Lord trying to retreat back. Two watchtowers now getting constructed again. There goes another watchtower getting taken down, as the Crypt Fiends, with their piercing damage, can in fact deal a good amount of damage against that watchtower with that range. Lava Spawns are causing cause a split. We should be getting up a double level up here. Firelord and Farseer are now at level 2, compared to Sheik's level 3 Crypt Lord trying to retreat back. But remember, behind all of this, there is additional economy by Sheik. He will be able to bounce back, as TGW needs to rack up enough damage to really, well, put Sheik into that danger zone and snowball. This additional economy may be too much to overcome, or it could just snowball into higher levels for the Farseer and that Firelord. Damage now racking up here. Spirit Tower and Nerubian Tower there, as damage is coming across here. Firelord looking to push pressure onto that Crypt Lord there. Crypt Lord down to 94 hit points. Is he going to be able to escape? No, he is not. Staff of Teleportation does not make you invulnerable, as he ends up getting taken down. All right, Crypt Fiends still do not have a web. Meanwhile, the Spirit Towers and Nerubian Towers may be able to finish off one low hit point Wind Rider. No, does not do that, as the Farseer staying at level 2 and the Firelord staying at level 2 as well. Watchtowers getting constructed. Raid incoming Crota. Oh, thank you very much. As the Crypt Fiends are now holding back again. All right, Beetles trying to retreat back here. Crypt Lord now resurrecting back at this altar of darkness. I wonder, well, I wonder if it's actually going to tell me if a raid is coming. It hasn't been able, or I haven't been getting those updates for quite some time. Not quite sure why. Anyways, coming back across here, we are still sitting at tier 2. We are getting in more raiders. This is a completely barracks-free strategy, as the Altar of Darkness is suffering quite a bit of damage. However, the raiders have not been able to really land in that damage and land in that siege damage to try and take them out. Meanwhile, web has still not been researched in order to deal with these Wind Riders. Even though I thought there were, apparently there's just not enough Wind Riders or enough Crypt Fiends to try and deal with this here as a couple of ensnares go down. All right, Watchtower now done. 2 Wind Riders, 2 Raiders, Spirit Wolves continuing to put in this pressure. Farseer nearing level 3, Firelord at about 2.5, as there is massive repairs underway on this Altar of Darkness. Altar of Darkness holding steady at 500 hit points. Meanwhile, more ensnares going down onto those ghouls as more Watchtowers continuing that poke as well. Raiders trying to take down this Altar of Darkness, but the Nerubian Tower, or the Calls of the Dead, able to slow down the Raider enough to allow this Crypt Lord to make its way back out here. A couple of Acolytes are getting cleaned up as well. New Voodoo Lounge coming in. Farseer is sitting at level 3, and we should be looking at this, well, Altar of Darkness, well, resurrecting this Crypt Lord here in just a moment. Low hit point Raider trying to retreat back. He'll be able to retreat as the Crypt Lord is now back out here onto the battlefield. However, 3 Watchtowers with the 4th one underway may be too much, as this main starting location may end up not worth saving. All right, at some point you may need to cut your losses as the Altar of Darkness now trying to train up a Death Knight as well. We are at tier 2. Damage is racking up. There goes an ensnare onto that Crypt Lord as the Watchtower here is going to end up becoming completed. It needs to try and get in some repairs as well, as that fortified armor is difficult to overcome with just Crypt Fiends and Heroes. All right, Beetle's looking to come across here. More damage still racking up. You can take a look. Halls of the Dead continuing to poke apart some of that damage. Staff of Teleportation. There goes the Watchtower as that Crypt Lord able to retreat back. All right, continuing to fight back and forth here. Crypt Lord trying to make its way back over. There goes another Impale onto the Farseer as the Death Knight with his sudden 200 hit point heal should be able to turn or make a dramatic impact, if not turn the tides. Crypt Fiends continuing to fight back there, but the Fire Lord able to get in some big splash damage as well. Thank you for the follow, as the Crypt Lord now trying to retreat back here, just waiting for the Death Knight, who is now on the battlefield and gets a Death Coil off onto that Crypt Lord. All right, more fighting underway, more splash damage. There goes an Impale as we are now getting into a barracks and off over here. Farseer needs to heal up all of these low hit point units off on the side. You can see the Wind Riders, the Raiders, all of these units so low on hit points. We need to see some healing salves there as the Watchtowers are able to continually poke apart across all of these units. That second Voodoo or another Voodoo Lounge perhaps to try and double the inventory. Thank you for the follow, as we are looking at the Wind Riders getting slowly healed back up. Watchtower is continuing to poke. Sheik does have the second base here, so that is that stronger economy. 29 over 70 supply compared to 50 over 50. Thank you for the follows, as the Altar of Darkness going to get taken down. Slaughterhouse now trying to be trained up here, and still Sheik is still barely holding on, as the Wind Rider should be able to easily poke apart the Slaughterhouse, as it does not yet have fortified armor. Coming back through, more Watchtowers continuing to poke. Raiders going to try and engage here in just a moment. Death Knight, no experience on the board as of yet, and this is slowly just encroaching, as we could be looking at perhaps Demolishers joining in the fray to get a little bit of that distance and siege damage needed to, well, finally break this line. Continuing to make its way forward. All right, Impale coming down. Wind Rider's going to try to make its way back around here. One Raider going to easily get taken down. A Death Knight trying to use potions of healing to stay alive, as the Crypt Lord also has potions of healing as well. Death Knight going to keep that distance. Fire Lord continuing to fire back and forth here, as Raiders are getting taken down. Death Knight now on the board with some experience again. Thank you for the Wyvern poking the Crypt. Thanks. Yeah. Wait. All right, talk about getting distracted. Anyways, coming back around, Crypt Lord continuing to hold the line here. Watchtowers are now being constructed, as the Demolisher should have a bit of range here and that splash damage to try and push through once more. This Halls of the Dead, however, going to be able to perhaps put pressure onto these Watchtowers as they are under construction. 33 supply compared to 52. And as we're still looking at this engagement go down, Death Knight still holding steady, has plenty of mana, but no real targets to heal, as the Crypt Lord is not getting targeted whatsoever. More damage getting racked up here as the Fire Lord tries to push into position once more. It looks as though those beetles are not going to be able to make it there, as the Demolisher should be really trying to take down the Halls of the Dead and perhaps pull some of those Acolytes off away from that gold mine. All right, Watchtower nearly completed, but is it going to be completed in time, as the Halls of the Dead still continue to poke apart that Watchtower here? All right, Crypt Lord to get in a little bit more damage. Again, still trying to hold steady. Are we going to see repairs underway? Need to see the repairs, as that fortified armor is there, and now the Peon is going to try and keep this up, this forward outpost, as the damage is still raging on through. Meanwhile, back at the expansion, you can see the expansion looking more like a main base, as the Necropolis is already teching the tier 2, as the halls of the dead about to fall here. Acolytes still holding steady as the Wind Riders continue to poke across all of these acolytes and also that halls of the dead, finally taking it down. Two demolishers more than enough to really rain down that damage across all of those units, as we're going to be looking at the Spirit Towers and the Rubian Tower about to fall as well. All right, after all this time, hero level advantage belonging to Orc, and well, economic advantage still slightly belonging to Sheik, army size advantage about even. So this is still anyone's game. All it takes is just one mistake as Sheik gonna go ahead and use that Scroll of Town Portal to get out of this dicey spot here. Unsummoning as many of the buildings as they possibly could. Need to go after the buildings that are being unsummoned first, as those are the ones that are going to be returning gold. And finally, this graveyard is going to fall. All right, major damage coming back across through as Sheik gonna end up losing this haunted gold mine through unsummoning. With all that said and done, Sheik, well, only behind in hero level 3 and level 1 compared to level 3 and level 3. Death Knight comes across, gets a Death Coil. We should be looking at some obsidian statues here as soon as this Halls of the Dead is done. No slaughterhouse was constructed earlier, and now this enraged Wildkin creep camp could actually start attacking what would be the main base of Sheik. Death Knight now making its way down across here. Plenty of acolytes, perhaps, as the slaughterhouse now getting into position. All right, this forward outpost is going to end up turning into an expansion for TGW, 48 supply compared to 46. How do you follow that up, though, knowing that your opponent, well, being undead, can bounce back? And well, you really didn't gain that big of an advantage as the expansion here now getting Burrow for those Crypt Fiends. All right, Demolishers bringing in that burning oil to try and take down the graveyards here. A little bit of damage over time. We are looking at lava spawns, the level 2 variety, ready to join in on the battle. 48 over 72 supply as, well, so much damage being done across here. Graveyard, once it is taken down, well, no acolytes, plenty of additional acolytes as Sheik no longer has that extra base. Demolishers are just trying to constantly attack. Chain Lightning bouncing around there as the Fire Lord, well, gets impaled. Death Knight now trying to fight back and now able to lead the charge with that Unholy Aura, that faster movement speed. We see Web is now available, catching some of those Wind Riders off guard as the Demolishers are now looking to fall back as well. Raider's going to get a couple of ensnares onto the Death Knight here, trying to take him down, but a defensive impale, keeping the, well, damage at bay as they are temporarily stunned as a Raider gets taken down. 45 supply compared to 42. Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Lava Spawn getting taken down. Demolishers are in the back position, able to rain down damage. And I've said this before, and I'll say this again, Wind Riders are a very, very supply-heavy unit for how much hit points and how much damage they can deal. There's a very small window of opportunity when and where they are useful, and I believe that window has now closed. With that, we are looking for TGW to transition into something new overall as the Shadow Hunter, as that third and final hero, getting ready to come onto the scene. Death Knight looking to get to level 3 himself, as he wants that level 2 Death Coil to keep that Crypt Lord alive in that frontline position. Crypt Lord, Obsidian Statue now making its way down here. Fire Lord, Farseer, Raider going to get into position here as well. You can see the wheels for TGW are spinning. He's trying to figure out what exactly he can do, as he's also slowly losing ground in that hero level advantage. The Death Knight will be getting up to level 3, that Crypt Lord sitting at level 4, and now perhaps are we going to be going to Black Citadel? Yes, we are, with no sign of a Lich as of yet. Coming back across to the side here, Raiders are getting healed back up. Enraged Wildkin, Shadow Hunter gonna go ahead and try and clear up this creep camp. A quick hex onto the Forest Troll High Priest, making sure not to give Inner Fire or any additional heals for all of those units. Defensive Impale is pretty familiar. Yeah, coming back across here, Fire Lord purposely staying back here. We do have a tiny Great Hall, so TGW could take the expansion lead here by trying to get up to 3 bases, as the main base only has 2 minutes of mining left. This base here has a little bit less than 10 minutes. This base here, well, you can see, you can do the math for yourself. coming back through. Crypt Fiends now trying to dive on into position, perhaps try to take down some of these peons. Peons are getting within range of those watchtowers as we see an ensnare go down on the obsidian statue. This has just been perhaps one base too far. Sheik getting himself caught here, and now he's in this really tight trapped corner. Cryptlord does have endurance aura. There goes one obsidian statue. Beetles are going to try to make their way over, but the Cryptlord may be forced to try and use a scroll of town portal in order to get away. Crypt Fiends, are they going to try and web down those Wind Riders? No sign of that as of yet, as the Demolishers are able to continue to put in pressure. It is still two base. For some reason, there is no mining here, and that may actually come back to haunt TGW. TGW only operating on one base so far. He needs to start mining at that additional base, as the Demolishers are getting that burning ground and damage across all of those units who, well, don't really have anywhere to run. All right, mining finally underway at that, 10 o'clock expansion location. More damage still racking on through. We're going to see some damage over time with that burning oil, as we can see. They were just simply attacking the ground to try and take down those Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Fiends do get taken down there. Death Knight able to retreat back once more. 59 supply compared to 49. Level 4, nearly level 5, nearly level 4, and a level 2 Shadow Hunter going up against a nearly level 5 Crypt Lord and a level 3 Death Knight. Sheik still trying to hold on to this game. Now additional acolytes need to be transferred to this 5 o'clock expansion location. It is going to be two bases soon, as there's less than a minute of mining here. Coming back across, you can see the carrion beetles are just trying to swarm into that location. Farsi are going to be able to quickly take them down there. A little bit of friendly damage being brought forth. We can see, burning, the burrowed carrion beetle able to heal up pretty consistently there, may be able to pop back up in just a moment. Meanwhile, Cryptlord sitting at level 4, Razormane Chieftain level 7 could drop another powerful item indeed. Lich is also out on the battlefield. There goes a Death Coil, and we see True Shot Aura as the third, as another ability, another aura, as the Lich may be getting that Orb of Corruption. Stronger damage output overall for all of those range units again, as the Lava Spawn now trying to put in pressure onto this graveyard once more. Demolisher still raining down that damage, 66 compared to 58, as are we going to see Impale onto the Kodo Beast to try and knock him down. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Healing Wave, Scroll of Town Portal. Is it going to be in time? It looks like it will be in time, whisking them all the way back home. Undead Orb should stack as well. I don't know, man. And if you've ever dealt with negative 12 armor on something, that's just absolutely disgusting. Spirit Wolves, or these dire wolves, taking down the acolytes here, trying to shut it down, this expansion location, and he is taking a significant experience or an economic lead if he can stop these acolytes from mining. However, Destroyer going to quickly make short work of this here with that Devour Magic, trying to take down some of these last little bits of acolytes again. 58 supply compared to 75. TGW, just gave level 5 to his opponent's Crypt Lord. Now sitting at level 5 Crypt Lord, level 3 Death Knight, level 1 Lich, all ready for action. The Lich, however, does not have the Orb of Corruption that is still on that Crypt Lord, as you need another hero who can attack the air. Lich now getting a position here. Watchtower is going to try and poke back. There are a couple of Berserkers as well, as the Frost Nova damage still not that scary as of yet, since it is only sitting at level 1. Yeah, Undead needs buff, surely. yeah. Raider now coming back down to the south side here, trying to take down some of these acolytes. There's one Demolisher in position here, trying to take down some of these it's trying to just take down acolyte after acolyte, slowing down the economic advantage, or continue to build that economic advantage that TGW's worked so hard to take from his opponent. All right. Crypt Lord now also still doing a little bit of creeping here. Meanwhile, the Orc army just on the other side, ready to put in pressure again. Dual Kodo Beasts as well, 2 Demolishers, Wind Riders, Headhunters, and I believe this might be the first time in a long time that I've actually seen an Orc game without a grunt. All right, no grunts for that frontline positioning whatsoever, as the Kodo Beasts are getting in the position now. Demolishers, 425 hit points, but they are not biological, making them immune to death or not targetable by Death Coil and Frost Nova, allowing them to really deal significant damage here. Hi, how you doing? All right, coming on through. Wind Riders trying to hold things back here. Firelord sitting at level 4. Farseer is sitting just shy of level 5. Are we gonna who is who? If there's only a title bar across the top, TGW on this side, Sheik on this side, red undead, purple orc. Sheik is Sheik. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I thought the community had built this really nice overlay tool that Blizzard had never built for observers. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, thanks for the follow. All right, a little bit of a standoff here. Both sides want to make sure that they're not the ones to make some sort of drastic, chaotic mistake. We are now transitioning into liquid fire, which deals damage over time and stops them from being repaired. So Bat Riders can start damaging buildings, and the Acolytes will not be able to keep them alive. Meanwhile, Burning Oil and Liquid Fire, yeah, two very, Burning Oil, Liquid Fire, two different abilities that sound the same, as we're looking at the Demolishers now raining down to that damage again. Firelord still off to the back here, trying to heal up more units. 80 supply compared to 69. Both sides hanging on, barely trying to not walk into any sort of trap. Thank you for the follow again, as the Spirit Wolves are just the Shadow Wolves are just constantly trying to take down these Acolytes, but the Destroyer here is, devouring them and being able to easily feed a little bit more experience, perhaps going to be able to get to level 4 on that Death Knight for that level 2 Unholy Aura and that weakened Endurance Aura as well. All right, coming back off to the north here, we're looking at 83 supply over 100, finally breaking into that high upkeep limit. Meanwhile, Sheik perhaps finally realized that there's an expansion off to the north here that he needs to try and engage again, as no, he's not going to be going after that. Instead, going after the Goblin Merchant Shop, trying to get more experience on his undead heroes. All right, do we see, I don't see Liquid Fire, but doesn't matter, enough damage being brought over. Hit and run tactics, trying to rain down damage and almost taking down an obsidian statue in the process. All right, hit and run strategies can become very problematic, as we're looking at additional Acolytes still falling here. This battle of attrition, and it looks as though with those Troll Bat Riders may actually start to come out ahead, as they're able to sacrifice themselves and take down those destroyers. More heals are necessary, 80 over 100 compared to 66 over 80, as additional gold mines in the center portion of the map could get cleared up. Giant Sea Turtle, taking a little bit of damage over time, but really wins out in that war. Medium armor with piercing damage going up against siege damage and a light armor. Yeah, not a fight those Troll Bat Riders should really be trying to do. All right. 10 minutes of mining left here. No more mining off to the north. Sheik actually has the economic advantage right now, but how long will it last, as peons are going to get cleaned up here, as they were trying to do that long distance mining. 78 supply compared to 68. 2 base mining here, but this base about to fall as well. So we are going to be going into 1 base mining against 1 base. Troll Bat Riders finding a destroyer off to the north here, as we're still looking for Sheik or TGW to make some sort of play to get the victory. However, Sheik so far has not been able to successfully leave this haunted gold mine fully saturated at all. Meanwhile, we are looking at a couple of carrion beetles swarming into position. They're going to get taken down easily, as we're at 78 supply compared to 66. All right, undead. Perhaps going to be getting into position, perhaps try to go after this expansion here. No, not going to be going after that. Trying to defend, but the faster moving orc army, even though they don't have any movement speed auras, compared to the undead who has level 2 unholy aura and endurance aura, I would have thought that the Death Knight and the Crypt Lord would have been able to catch up most of the time. All right, 28 minutes into this game, still no clear-cut winner overall, as the Acolytes are looking to set up another expansion here. All right, Wind Riders in position, Shadow Wolves ready to dive on in if necessary, and Where is that damage perhaps going to rack up as the Crypt Fiends are now trying to push on through? Farseer trying to get engaged here. There's the Troll Bat Rider, Scrolls of Speed, now level 3 on the Shadowhunter units are trying to retreat back. Meanwhile, down to the south here, Raiders are trying to take down this expansion position as the Crypt Lord now going back after again. Are we going to perhaps see a Hex of any sort? There goes an Impale. Wind Rider is going to be going down, and here is perhaps that engagement that we were looking for. All right, Crypt Lord trying to retreat back down to 500 hit points in that front line spot. Both sides fighting their way through. Chain Lightning bouncing around there. Death Coil healing up that Crypt Lord even further as the Troll Berserkers are now getting, well, taken down pretty quickly. A big roar across all of the Crypt Fiends. Big damage output as we are looking at the, well, another Hex going down. All right, the Crypt Lord about to get taken down to 48 hit points. Scroll of Town Portal is in time. Farseer gets taken down, and that is the game. A Scroll of Town Portal with the Crypt Lord down to 48 hit points, coupled with a delivering blow onto the Farseer right before that Scroll of Town Portal even also saved the Death Knight, gives Sheik the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's take a look at the final scores here. A large battle going back and forth, but the heroes were really what was pulling Sheik. Sheik was able to come back over the top with higher hero levels, even though, well, he actually went out on the resource score. Oh yeah, he won out on the resource score as well. All right, so winning in every single category, but TGW felt like he was in control for much of that game, but still never gave up and never surrendered. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.